And their official reports are in. The Oklahoma Sooners missed out on the defensive coordinator they were going after, Jim Knowles. He will be taking a job at Penn State instead of Oklahoma. Let's break it down, and I can explain the sense behind all of it. So let's dive into it. Before we do that, welcome to Unfair Sports. I'm your host, Jay. Thank you for pulling up to the channel. So I told y'all before that Oklahoma was, trying hard to go after a coach, a big-time name, to give Brent Venables opportunity to be a CEO type and get someone that can architect the defense similar to what he does. Well, the guy was Jim Knowles. Oklahoma missed. Now, I'm going to say this. A lot of y'all are going to believe that, one reason or another, but I can explain to you what happened in this situation, as I've been hearing about this for a bit. That Oklahoma didn't lowball. Oklahoma put up the money opportunity for him, and there were connections locally. You've all seen it floating around social media. Jim Knowles decided that for him, Penn State made the most sense. Why? I honestly don't know. Now, it does sound like he does believe that, Penn State may be a little bit closer for him as far as continually winning. And Penn State may go ahead and step away and let him truly have control. The question has always been, can Brent Venables allow someone else to run the defense when things are good and when things are bad? And that question is still up in the air. BV's going to have to prove that he can step away and truly just try to run and organize everything at the top. Now, there was a report that went out from Sooner Scoop earlier today. You saw the video that OU Insider dropped on accident, and everybody asked the question, hey man, why is everybody putting this information out there like this when it probably shouldn't be put out there? I asked the same question. It feels like Oklahoma was trying to negotiate in private and not let things leak out. And then someone had to say something, and then it started to snowball because reporters have to do their job. When information is provided to them, they got to report on it. I get some of you don't want them to say anything, but that's not how the game works. You want information. The information is passed on and said it can be reported. There's typically reasons why it's getting reported. So it sounds like the reasoning behind this is the agent for Jim Knowles wanted this to get out so that they could start possibly negotiating other places. Did Oklahoma get played? Probably. Is it a big deal? No. I don't think this is a big deal at all. I believe that Oklahoma, regardless, has one of the best minds on defense there. We've seen the improvement year over year. The question is, can the offense complement the defense? And so that's where we'll be talking about this entire offseason is what can this offense do to complement what the defense has been able to produce over the last couple of years under Brent Venables. We've saw the improvements every year. We saw them get better. Now we have a lot more veterans on the defensive side of the ball that's built specifically to be able to handle this conference, which has 7 of the top 10 defenses in it. The offense now has to prove itself. The goal with Jim Knowles was to go out, swing for the fences and get a big name, big brained guy on defense to come in and help. Unfortunately, it didn't work. The example on this negotiation to me was the Tom Allen situation at Clemson. Tom Allen, in quiet, negotiated his deal to get closer to family and move to South Carolina because he has family in the Carolinas. And that was where he was going after. Well, Clemson was able to get it done quietly. Didn't have people out here leaking it all over the interwebs. Fortunately, we did not have that. And so now we've got to just go back to the drawing board and see what we want to do. To me, Brent Venables is a very good recruiter. He's a pretty solid leader of men, and people like him. So what he needs to do now is focus on recruiting. Not that concerned about defensive coordinator. We have him. We also have Brandon Hall, who knows his defense well, that can help with game planning. We've still got all the defensive staff members that matter. All we got to do now is go find ourselves either a linebacker coach or promote from within and let Brent Venables just run the defense as the head coach. I'm sensing they're probably going to go closer to BV running it, but that's not a definitive. There's a very good chance that Oklahoma could go out and hire somebody else to be DC, but I don't think Oklahoma's in a rush. And they shouldn't be. There's no reason to be in a rush if your goal is to run the same defense you've ran the last 4 years. So next season, as this will be season 4 for Brent Venables, this is his 4th off season, but this will be his 4th season as head coach. This off season, they're going to run the exact same defense. It's going to be the exact same one they've had for the last few years. So now you have an entire staff of people that know your defense and they can help translate it over to the players. You've got veterans that can translate it down to younger players. That was the difference than when we had year 1. And now we've got guys picking it up better and better because we saw the results. The defense finished pretty high. We'll break down the analytics around the defense, the final finish in the SEC and what it means for Oklahoma. We'll break down all of that sometime next week. But the key thing for y'all to remember is Oklahoma's goal here was to go out and just try to find a big brain and add to it. It was either a huge win or things are going to stay the same. And right now we're at the spot where it's the same. And honestly, I do not feel like Oklahoma missed out that much. It just would have been awesome to have Jim Knowles here as the defensive coordinator. That's it. So as negotiations went down and everybody has moved on, now the question is who's next? Sooners, I think, Scoop, George Story over there at Scoop had dropped an article about who they think could be the possibility next and who the next target could be. Probably someone young, which to me, to be honest, it makes sense. You got Ben Arbuckle, who's young, about 30 years old. Go yourself another 30-year-old, someone to groom and grow in the system, and hopefully that person can take over and truly be the defensive coordinator. I would not be surprised if Oklahoma tries that. That would be a smart move. Or just let BV do it. But I'm going to be honest, I don't see Oklahoma hiring anybody. I truly don't. And that is not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing at all. You have enough people. If anything, Oklahoma needs to make sure they bring in an analyst, a former head coach of such, that can help with navigating time management and being good on that side. Like, I don't mind BV calling it. I need BV to be able to manage the time better. And he's going to need someone that's going to be on the side to be able to help with that. We know Ben will probably be calling it from the booth. And BV's going to be on the sideline calling the defense. He's going to need somebody up there in the booth to send stuff down, say what they see. Probably a Brandon Hall would do something like that. Or, rumor has it, Wes Goodwin is on the list. We'll see what that happens. So, let us know what y'all think. Hop in the comments. Let me know your thoughts. Do y'all really think that this was just that big of a loss? I'm truly curious about you all. Because me personally, I do not think that it was a big loss. I think that it would have been a great addition, but I don't think it was a big loss. If you made it this far, like the content, go ahead and hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. I'd love for y'all to join this family Sooner fans talking OU football, SEC, college football in general. Have a blast doing it. We'll be live tonight at 6. I got another video that I actually just finished up and I was going to release, but I'll release it, a little bit before we go live. We'll talk recruiting weekend. Want y'all to pull up and join us. And we'll go from there. We'll talk soon. Peace.